Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Katie Kuhn with the South Carolina Aviation Association, and I just want to thank y'all for being with us. We're going to take a few minutes today and walk through the app and the virtual platform that we will be using for the Aviation Association conference. Ask questions at any time. If we don't know the answers, we'll find out for you and let you know. Please go ahead and mute your audio. If you have a question, unmute, ask it, but just make sure that everybody's muted so that everybody can hear. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to Pace Pavement. They are our app sponsor for this year, so we appreciate their support. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, hopefully y'all are all seeing my screen. You can also put in a chat. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat feature as well. So yesterday you should have received an email with login information, and the email looks like what you are seeing on my screen. That's the email that you should have received. And on it, inside that email, it has your username and your password. If you did not receive the email, you'll need to let us know. You can submit it in the chat box, and we will need to resend that email to you because, again, the password is specific to each person, so you'll need to have that. If you lose it, you can reach out to staff and we can resend it to you, but going into the conference, make sure that you've received it and that you can log in. All right, once you log in, you access the platform, you'll enter your username and your password. And what will come up is this screen. So you can log in on your phone or your desktop. If you're using it as an app on site at the conference, you'll want to save it to your home screen for easy access. Because what this is it's like a website that you're saving. So on your phone, you'll save it to your home screen. And if you're accessing it on a computer, which is fine, you'll just want to save your password so that you can get back into it. All right.
Is this a different app than the SCAA mobile app that we had before?
Yes, it is. This is a completely different app. So you'll need to make sure that you can download this one, that you can access it moving into the day of the conference. But this app is used for those that are in person as well as those that are virtually, so that we're all on the same platform. All right, so we have our welcome tab, and behind our welcome tab, you can watch this. It's just a welcome video for the conference. The next tab is the schedule tab, and this is going to list out the schedule of events for each day. Up at the top, you can toggle between the days. So the only day that will be live streamed is Thursday. Although if you are on site, you can look at this on Wednesday and see the schedule events as well as Friday. But Thursday will be the day that is live streamed. For virtual attendees, you can click on the live stream button up at the top where my cursor is, or you'll be able to click on each individual session. So if you walk away and you want to come back to a specific session, you can jump right in on it. Otherwise, you can just click on the live stream at the top, and that will open up and that can stay up throughout the day. PDF presentations will be added to the schedule as we receive them. So we might not have PDF presentations up there until after the conference, but as long as the speakers will give them to us, they'll be put on this app and they'll be up underneath the schedule for whichever session it is. When you're watching the live stream video, if you keep the video as a pop-up, you'll be able to interact with the platform. If you go into full screen, you won't be able to interact with anything else. You'll have to minimize and then interact. So just something to note. After the sessions take place, it will be available to rewatch a week after the conference. So we will send an email out to all attendees and let them know that all the sessions are now available to be rewatched. This app will stay, this website will stay up for 1 year. So you can rewatch at any time for the year. Any questions on the schedule tab? All right, the live polling tab, we may or may not use this, but what this is if a speaker wants to ask the audience a question and they let us know in advance that that is what they want to do, then we will put the live polling in here. But it's not something that takes place immediately, so it's got to be put in there in advance. So it just depends if a speaker asks us to put that up. If they do and a live polling takes up, if you are watching the screen as a pop-up, then the live polling pop-up will come up as well. If you're in full screen, you might not be able to see that it'll say the live polling has started, but you'll have to exit minimize to get to the live polling. With the speakers, this page just lists out all of our speakers and information about the speakers and when they're going to be speaking. You can also get to their session through this section as well. All right, so those are the speakers. Hall of Fame Banquet, this is a tab that recognizes our new Hall of Fame inductees and tells you a little bit about them. For exhibitors, all of our exhibitors are both in person and virtual. That means you can look and see all of our exhibitors that will be on site. And you can click on any of the buttons and you can learn about their company. Some of them will have tabs, some of them will have videos, and they all have the opportunity to connect with them down here. This is an email that will go to them and then they would have to respond to that. All right, moving down to our sponsors. Again, all of our sponsors are listed here. And this just will include contact information for our sponsors and a little bit of information about them. Under the resources tab, throughout the conference, we'll be showing different videos that the association has put together over the last couple of years. And so it's more of a resource for you to kind of see the different things. Our newsletter is going to be on here. Legislative talking points for this year. This is a map of the Sonesta Resort so that you might know where you need to go for the different events. So this is more just a resource page to check in. It's going to have your attendee list in here. And so this one will be adding resources up throughout it. Survey at the end of the conference, if you will fill out a survey and kind of help us with feedback on what we need to do for the future and how this kind of worked out for you and anything that you would like to see in the future as far as topics. This always helps us. We send this to the committee reviews the information that is received, and that's a lot of how we come up with the schedule for the following year. Next tab is networking. So once you log in, you'll be able to customize the networking page, add your picture, click on my biography and add in your information. There's a e-business card. And so this is something that you can use to exchange with other people at the conference. This is a way for our virtual and our in-person attendees to connect, because everybody will be on this. So as long as you are inside this, this platform, you can chat. So you can connect with other people. So let me find, it's done by, it's in alphabetical order by first name. So if you know you want to connect with somebody, can't get it to connect. You can request a connection, which means my e-business card will be shared with them, and then they can in turn share their e-business card with me as well. Or I can send a direct message to them, chat with them specifically. Again, I can open the chat to try and chat with somebody specifically. So there are different opportunities to get in and chat with people. Or you can click on the very next tab, which is chat. Again, you go to new, you find the person that you want to chat with. And you can start a new chat with that person. The difference is with the chat tool right here is that all of your chats are going to show up in this left-hand box. So if you're chatting with multiple people, it'll come up in this side, so you can toggle between the different chats. The next button is the forum button, and the forum button is more to post a discussion or a question with everybody. You may not know a certain person that you want to chat with, but you have a question that you want answered. If you post it in the forum, then everybody will receive it. Everyone has the opportunity to respond to it. This is also a moderated discussion board as well. So we will, as staff, be watching this. Down at the bottom, there is a Q&A feature. And again, this is just to ask a question. So if you're in a session and you have a speaker question that you want to ask, you can type it in there. And this is also moderated, so someone will then ask your question. So if you are a virtual attendee, this is where you would go to ask a question of a speaker. And then a message is just a shortcut for a chat. And that is the platform. Those are the buttons. That's how we can use it. Again, your live stream button is up on the top, so you can easily access that through here, or you can go to the schedule and access it again up here, or to the specific session. For virtual attendees, we will be showing videos throughout the virtual conference. So when we go on break for the conference, we might have a break with the exhibitors. There will be videos that are being played for those that are just watching virtually. So does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? This
Yes,
is Greg. Greg Dean. Hey, show me one more time, and I assume if instead of waiting until the day of the conference to set up our biography and put up our picture and stuff, show me again where do we do that so that we can do that ahead of time?
Absolutely, that's a good question. So that goes down into networking. So you click on the networking tab and you can go ahead and do this today. I mean, as soon as you receive the email and you can log in, you can start customizing your information. So right here on the networking page, you can click on the camera to change your picture. And then my biography, you can put your information in here, and my e-business card.
Very good. Very good. That's what I needed to do. Good.
So Katie, forgive me, but I was 1 or 2 minutes late there at the beginning trying to get it logged in, but you're going to send us an email that will have the link for all this. Is that correct?
That is correct. You should have already received an email, but if you have
Okay.
not, then we can make sure to resend it to you, because what we said earlier was it is password specific. So everyone receives an email and it has in there their password. So if you did
Okay.
not receive it.
I'll let me double check before you go looking, and if I don't have it, I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you for those that have chatted in that need your login.
Hey, Katie,
Mm-hmm.
this is Joe. I'd just like to say this is really cool. You guys have done a great job of getting us to have this conference under very difficult circumstances, and much appreciated. And I know how important it is to all of us. And so big thank you goes out.
Thank you, Joe. Any other questions? I won't hold you if you don't have questions.
Hey, Katie, this is Bob Anderson. I was just curious if you have any feel yet how many people are attending in person versus virtual attendees? Just numbers or kind of percentage of how it's likely to break down?
We have about 130 in-person attendees, and then we have about 40 virtual attendees.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Well, we look forward to seeing everyone next week, either virtually or in person. And we appreciate y'all being a part of this conference and being a part of aviation in South Carolina. And we are here to help. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us directly at any time, and we'll help you any way we can. All right. Thank you.